So how many tire plugs can you put in one all-terrain tire? Well, we got about 8 in this tire, and today we got 2 more punctures. Yes, 2, boyfriend and girlfriend. And that brings the total up to 10 tire plugs that we're going to put in this one tire. Today I'm going to walk you through how I plug tires out here in the desert. We live off-road, so if you're wondering why on earth do you have so many plugs in your tires, we got about 10, or we're going to have 10 in this one tire. And between the other 3 tires, I'm sure we're up to 20. I stopped counting after like 15.
Yeah, baby! Turn into that much you're going to my passenger. Oh, Nelly. Oh, snap. Oh! Oh! Oh, snap. Oh, boy. Big one, big one. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby.
So our first puncture looks like it's like a nail, and here I am trying to pull the nail out. It's of course tricky to get out because there's not much to grab onto. So once I get this nail out, it looks like it's just like a superficial puncture, like the nail didn't go all the way through and there's no air leak, if that makes any sense. In other words, it's just in the rubber block and there's no real leak. And so I'm going to reach for my go-to Mickey Mouse tire patching compound, which is Permatex Right Stuff. But right as I was getting ready to put in this compound, I soap tested it and just could barely see that it's bubbling up. It's hard to see these bubbles, but it is indeed bubbling up, which means we got a leak. So I decided to go ahead and grab the reamer tool here and put it in the impact driver and ream it out and plug it. The star of the show are these things, which are relatively new. You can get them anywhere. There's no specific brand that works better than the other. But as you saw, it made quick work of those tire plugs versus doing those by hand. So this is my method of kind of cutting off the excess plug material. You don't have to do this. This is just what works for me. It makes it quick and easy, and you don't have to fight the plug or worry about pulling it off. If you heat a knife, basically make a hot knife, it cuts through it like hot knife through butter. Yeah, I know that's corny, but that's the idea here. If you don't heat up the knife, you just kind of have to saw back and forth, and you might pull the plug or struggle. Now, disclaimer before we move on to plug number 2, this is in no way telling anybody how they should plug or patch tires or how many should go into one tire. We're just giving you a real world example of what happens when you actually live off-road daily and what people have to do out here.
All right, here's his girlfriend up here.
We've gotten brand new tires from the tire shop with 0 miles on them, driven them home, and in 20 minutes they got 2 holes in them. So people out here go through this and they just have to keep plugging and patching and doing whatever they got to do to keep their vehicle rolling. Now, in my experience, the quality of the tire will dictate how many plugs it can take. In other words, the more expensive the tire, the better that belt material will be that's under the tread, and it will take a plug better, it will hold better, and it can take more plugs without having an issue.